Hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita, Khemka.
Hello there, I am Yatin, Mota.
Well, we started the day on a good note, Yatin. We in fact hit a fresh high yet again today, and the Sensex as well hit a fresh high. In fact, the new lifetime high for Sensex is 77,145 or thereabouts. So although we did fizzle out from the day's high, but the Nifty is just around that 23,400 mark. Now, we were expecting, Yatin, that the Nifty will hit 23,500 today, given the fact that we saw Wall Street clock a very strong rally. There were cues from Fed to digest, even though, US Fed chairperson Jerome Powell, I beg your pardon, has said that the number of rate cuts, in fact, that has been reduced to 1 for the year from the 3 rate cuts that he had indicated in the last meeting. But the street, is still expecting more than 1 rate cut. They are expecting 2 rate cuts and a total of 50 basis point rate cut for the year, given the fact that the US CPI data has given some bit of comfort. It has cooled off a bit on a YY basis, and experts are saying that if a couple of more months we see US inflation coming at those levels, there could be more room for Fed to dole out at least 2 rate cuts this year. But of course, for the next year, Fed has indicated a more aggressive rate cut path. It has indicated 4 rate cuts for next year, and that was digested well by the market. So if you look at today's performance from the Indian market standpoint, broader market outperformance continues. We saw IT stocks do well, of course, on the back of the fact that the Nasdaq has hit a fresh record high yesterday. The India VIX has dropped even further. Yatin, 6% drop on the India VIX index, even below that 14 level now. NSE advanced decline ratio was almost at 2:1, but it was the banking pack that was in a spot of bother. The Nifty Bank index retreated almost 300 points from the day's high. Aside of banks, what didn't do well today was FMCG, media as well as metals. But aside of IT, among the other outperformers, you had Realty Pack. Yeah. That index was up 2%. You had autos and pharma. These were some of the sectoral gainers. In terms of individual movers on the Nifty, I think you had life insurers doing well. So HDFC Life, on the back of the new surrender value norms by IRDAI. Aside of that, you had Divi's Lab, M&M, Titan, L&T. These were some of the movers. L&T, by the way, has won an order from ONGC. Correct. On the losing end, Yatin, FMCG continues to be in a spot of bother. Yesterday as well, it was a loser. HUL, Axis Bank, on the back of a top level exit there. Britannia, Eicher Motors, Tata Consumer, these were some of the other losers. But in the broader end of the markets, Yatin, I think there was some buzz around sugar stocks once again. Yesterday, we spoke about sugar stocks. Today as well, Sri Renuka was one stock that was buzzing and gaining 10%.
Renuka was up. We had Balrampur Chini being one of the top gainers in the F&O space. We had Praj Industries also gaining by 10%. So the entire sugar pack was doing well. Obviously, Renuka was the top gainer in the Nifty 500, but apart from that, we had Oracle Financial Services. That stock moved nearly 10.5% in trade. We had GRSC, and PSU stocks in general have been moving quite fast in the last 2 trading sessions. GRSC was up 12%. Usha Martin also one of the gainers. In the losing side, we had Sanofi, but it was ex-demerger, and post that the stock got adjusted by nearly 3,500 rupees. We had Aavas Financiers, Marico, APL Apollo Tubes. All of these stocks are down by nearly 2-3%. What was doing well in the F&O space was the like of HAL, which is Hindustan Aeronautics. That stock was up 5%. BEL 3.5% higher. So the defense stocks, after the panic sell-off on the election day, have been rebounding quite well, overall, Nandita.
Yes, Yatin, defense stocks and entire PSU pack is once again back in favor, and so is the IT pack. The IT stocks are on my list in terms of the stocks that are on our radar this afternoon. IT stocks were among the top sectoral gainers today. You had, as I mentioned at the start of the show, the US Federal Reserve maintaining interest rates at the current 5.25 to 5.5% rate. It has guided for 1 rate cut, but we saw Nasdaq hitting a fresh high, and that had a rub-off effect on our IT stocks as well. as a whole, the Nifty IT pack has declined 2% on a YTD basis. So among the other sectoral sectors, in fact, IT has been an underperformer. Experts are saying that there could be a reversal in underperformance, given the fact that we've seen some of the companies bagging big deals in recent times. You had the likes of HCL Tech and Wipro. Wipro bagged a good $500 million deal from a US telecom service provider recently, and so did HCL Tech. It bagged a $278 million deal with Germany's largest private cooperative bank. Now, Morgan Stanley and some of the other brokerages are saying that the deal wins are providing comfort, especially in terms of HCL Tech, because it had guided for revenue, it had given a revenue growth guidance of anywhere between 3 to 5% for FY25. Now, Morgan Stanley is saying that deal wins are providing comfort that HCL Tech may actually manage to meet this guidance. In fact, Morgan Stanley has also noted that there has been no change in the demand outlook, in terms of discretionary demand. This has been pointed out by various IT firms as well when they reported numbers. But some of these positives like deal wins may bode well for IT companies, and their margins will see a positive bias in FY25. For LTI Mindtree as well, it may see near-term positive momentum, but the EBIT margin aspiration of 17 to 18% may get pushed further. That's something that Morgan Stanley has pointed out, because there's an India Investor Forum going on where it has met a couple of IT names, and this is where these comments were made. In fact, Infosys, has echoed the same sentiment that there's been no pickup in discretionary demand, but the deal pipeline in other segments for Infosys has also been doing well. And Infosys, according to Morgan Stanley, has also pointed out that these recent deals have started getting converted into revenues. Now that's a major positive comment coming in from Infosys. So in terms of IT stocks, Morgan Stanley prefers or is overweight on both TCS and Infosys, but it is equal weight on LTI Mindtree. But given the kind of underperformance we've seen in IT names, any kind of good news will be considered as a good entry point, right, Yatin? Because a lot of these brokerages have also been pointing out that some of the positives are visible now.
Absolutely, and most importantly, Nandita, the inflation scenario in the US is improving. EU had a rate cut. US is dovish in terms of the commentary from the central bank. So I think the macros are more stable, and with stable macro, I think IT stocks should do well. Given the fact that 6 months back or maybe 9 months back, there was uncertainty regarding the order wins, the order pipeline, and there was a lot of furlough in the month of December as well. So I think things are improving for the IT sector, and so are the valuations. Probably brokerages are now bullish because of that. But chemicals also is one space which has been doing well despite all the headwinds for the last 6 months in terms of pricing, China dumping and other factors. We have the chemical stocks which are performing quite good, especially in the last 1 or 2 months. Today BNK has come out with a report on chemical stocks. We have initiating coverage report on Vinati Organics, wherein they have a buy rating with a target of nearly 2147. So that's almost a 16% upside from yesterday's close. Also they have a buy rating on Archean Chemicals with a target of A64, and that is also another 39% upside. So Vinati Organics and Archean Chemicals are the two stocks which BNK has initiated coverage and is looking quite bullish. When it comes to Vinati Organics, the company has a lot of product pipeline, especially in the antioxidant space, wherein BNK is expecting additional 700 crores of revenue. When it comes to specialty and niche chemicals, again there is a 500 crore additional revenue opportunity, because of which the overall growth for Vinati should look good for the current and next financial year. Obviously, in terms of valuation, Vinati is expensive, not cheap, but still, given the fact that the earnings visibility is there, BNK sounds bullish. When it comes to Archean Chemicals, the current trading multiple is at 13 PE versus the historical valuation of nearly 17 PE. So the PE really expands according to BNK, and most importantly, the bromine category market share has been quite strong, in which the company is expected to improve their realizations since the pricing is also improving. So both Archean Chemicals and Vinati Organics were quite strong in trade today after this BNK initiating report.
All right, of course, chemical space in focus. A lot of experts I speak to, say that, chemical space is one space that could be ripe for investment, because over a couple of years, this particular space has been underperforming. But another stock that has been raking in whirlwind gains is Whirlpool, Yatin. In the last few sessions, it has done very well. The stock is up somewhere around 15% in the last 5 sessions. Now, there has been a trigger today. It has forged a new marketing alliance with HUL for Surf Excel. Now, the collaboration is aims to actually deliver superior cleaning performance as well as convenience to households. The integration of innovative technologies from both the brands is expected to deliver superior fabric care, improve the daily laundry process, as well as result in an enhanced customer experience. The company is seeing this partnership as an opportunity to leverage the combined strengths of both the brands, and both the brands will also have joint marketing initiatives. Now, we also had a report on this particular company, Whirlpool, from Equirus a few days ago. In fact, they are seeing early signs of revival in the entry level demand, and it also sees a strong case for the company to report solid double-digit revenue growth. Once the entry level demand, both normal and pent up, reaches its full potential. After Sunil D'Souza's exit, Sunil D'Souza, who is by the way in Tata Consumer right now, the company had lost its way, and there was a substantial market share loss in channel engagement, poor performance, and delayed product launches. But as Narasimhan Eswar took charge, there has been a turnaround. In fact, there's been a sharpened focus on bridging the product portfolio gap and improving the channel engagement as well. And these strategic changes are some of the factors that will drive growth for the company going forward. That's what Equirus has pointed out. Now, industry feedback is also suggesting that the company's market share in refrigerators has been the highest in the last 18 to 24 months. So things clearly looking up for Whirlpool. In fact, it is primarily engaged in the manufacturing and trading of ACs, refrigerators, washing machines, microwaves, and other small appliances, and it caters to both domestic as well as international market. Now, there's one interesting point that Nuvama has also pointed out in its report. It's that domestic mutual fund houses have actually trimmed positions in Whirlpool in the run up to the general elections. But the stock continues to do well. Look at the monthly charts, last 5-day charts, even the YTD chart. You've seen gains in excess of 30%, at least on a YTD basis. Yatin.
Clearly, and Whirlpool there, almost 0.5% up in trade. But yes, the season for summer has been good. So let's watch out for the Q1 numbers as well, because from air conditioners to refrigerators, I think a lot of things will be doing well for the Q1, apart from the strategic tie-up which Nandita is speaking about with HUL.
Well, I think those were all the stocks on our radar this afternoon. But with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Closing Bell. Of course, it's Friday tomorrow. You guys come back and join us at 9 a.m. in the morning on Opening Bell. And of course, have a great evening. But stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates.